Hey guys, Alex Margar here, owner and creator of the Transform Nutrition app. This is your intro video to the General Health and Wellness group. When you get involved in working a challenge and logging your points, this video is meant to help you understand how to do your diet, how to log your points on your diet, and really just feeling comfortable with it instead of keep just bobbing your head above water. This video will help you understand what you're really doing this for. So let's talk about the general health and wellness diet, the concept that we've made for you. A lot of times you really don't need to put a lot of bells and whistles on something for it to work. That's this type of diet. When you start forcing too many restrictions on a diet, such as food ratios, caloric intake, macro percentages, or body fat percentage benchmarks, or even just changing your intake amounts, some people may tend to get lost in the weeds a bit. If you are new to a healthy lifestyle, and a balanced diet, then a lot of that stuff will probably come later. For now, let's just learn how to eat correctly. For you and your members that are just kind of starting out on a nutritional plan, this is probably going to be the best bet, which is the General Health and Wellness group. So, what are you doing in this group? You're basically just eating clean. Well, what is that? I think the best way to put it is that you are here to eat real foods only and resist as much as possible the processed foods that run rampant in our grocery stores today. Well, what is the difference between real food and processed food? To answer this question, probably ask yourself another question. Other than growing it, foraging for it, or killing it, did someone have to make this food item? If the answer is yes, then it probably is processed somewhat and loaded with different types of complex carbs and sugars that our bodies never really evolved to react to properly. That's the whole process between eating clean or eating whole. And that's good and all, but why are processed foods bad for our bodies? Food processors, distributors, and product creators put items under the umbrella of what I call processed foods for them in multiple ways because it's typically cheaper for them to do. One, you could take food and add something to it, such as salt, sugar, trans and hydrogenated fats, or preservatives, and then chemically it reacts differently and has very poor effects on your body, right? So adding stuff to it, such as preservatives. Another way to process foods is to change its natural form. Think about the change in whole wheat that goes into the making of refined bread or white bread. It becomes an entirely different product. That's why typically whole wheat is better for you than processed bread. Lastly, there are a lot of foods and food ingredients out there that are just simply not food at all. They're made in a lab. Obviously, this is not real food. Think of GMOs or MSG or flavor enhancers. Look at the ingredient labels on any package that you get, any food that you get. If there's anything that sounds like a chemical or it's something that it's hard to pronounce, it's typically not good for your body. And that's a processed food, obviously, and we don't want to eat it. So remember those three things. So now that you know what processed foods are, it might be difficult for you to imagine how to structure your daily nutritional plan without them. Um, it always helps me to categorize. So while you are going through this challenging and you're trying to make healthy food decisions, make your meals by choosing from these meal categories. Remember, variety makes your life much easier, so the more that you can mix them up, the better you're going to do. I have main meal elements, which are going to be your beef, pork, chicken, fish, whole wheat pasta, anything like that. We have our vegetable elements, such as broccoli, asparagus, bell peppers, green peppers. Those are the main ones that are really easy to cook with, but you'll see more options in the PowerPoint that goes along with this. You'll also have fruits. Be careful eating these because, what is a fruit? It's basically just glucose, it's natural sugar. So the more you eat of these, you could be messing up your sugars a little bit. Another group is nuts, seeds, legumes, and beans. There's going to be a lot in this. This is going to be mainly a supplemental category as well as dairy, which is your cheeses, your yogurts, milks, butters, and a few other things. I have some accessory elements as well too. But the big thing to stay away from are your game breakers, right? These are your candies, your cereals, your baked goods, pastries, things like fajitas, processed breads, anything like that. If you eat one of those, you're not getting your points for the day. So among those, those are generally the things that are good for you that we want to stick around. Um, Further going into healthy eating, you may get into something like paleo, where your restrictions are a little bit more involved, and you'll learn that down the road. You can start a general health and wellness challenge today with this premise. It's as simple as that. If you eat something processed, you are not able to claim your 5 base points for the day during the challenge. If you only eat unprocessed foods during the day, claim it, and you'll start racking up those points. But remember, if you start eating a lot of processed foods, candies, and junk food, you'll start falling behind. And you want to rack up those points. Just stay competitive and stay motivated. Okay. Within this video, or next after this video, you'll see a PowerPoint that goes along with this. It will tell you a little bit more how to structure your daily meals, and it will tell you how to log your points. It may be a little bit easier for you than watching a video so that you could actually see it on paper. So check that out next, guys. Let us know if you have any questions, and thanks for